All right, well, I had a suggestion from someone to ask ChatGPT for a starting word, and I have played around a little bit with ChatGPT, and so I'd kind of been thinking about doing something with it, and so I thought that was a good idea. If you're not familiar with ChatGPT, it's an artificial intelligence chat thing that you can just go online for free, and you can ask it questions, you can talk to it and have a conversation if you want to, and it is just a computer that's been taught a lot of stuff, essentially. That's a very basic way to say it, but if you're not familiar with ChatGPT already, then you probably just want the basic version anyways. So, we are going to go on ChatGPT, there you go, right over there. And here's some examples of questions you could ask. I'm gonna say, can you suggest a starting word? Do we want a good starting word? Let's ask for an interesting starting word. Can you suggest an interesting starting word for Wordle? Let's see what it says. Certainly. How about serendipity? Okay. I should have assumed that it wasn't gonna know. Yeah, I should have known that it wasn't gonna know the rules of Wordle. It needs to be 5 letters. So one interesting thing about ChatGPT is it actually, in our little conversation here, it will remember what we've already talked about. So I don't need to say, can you suggest an interesting starting word that's 5 letters long? I don't need to say all that again. It needs to be 5 letters. I apologize for misunderstanding your request. How about gleam? Okay, there we go. Gleam is what we're gonna start with. All right, do we wanna just do 1 or should we do 2? Let's get a follow-up word. We'll do gleam, and then maybe we'll ask ChatGPT for a follow-up word too. Ooh, okay, interesting. So, let's go back, okay. Let's say, can you give me a good follow-up word to go with gleam? Let's see if it'll give me a second one. Sure, how about... Okay, see, sometimes you're really impressed with how smart ChatGPT seems and how much it seems to know what it's talking about, and other times you're like, okay, I mean, dude, come on. Do you not know how Wordle works? Make the follow-up word also 5 letters. It's thinking. Maybe it only knows 1 5-letter word. All right, how about shine? It also fits well with the theme. Oh, okay. Light and brightness. Very interesting. So it's I thought it was interesting that it came up with gleam. Anyways, just why that word, right? Randomly. But what's kind of cool, see, it does these things that sometimes are really cool, like, okay, we need a second word, how about we do something within a theme, right? And actually, shine works out great because we've got the yellow E, and I wanted to guess an E at the end, and that's 4 new letters. I mean, that's actually a pretty good follow-up word. You know, you could do thine, but those are all pretty good letters. Ooh, okay, so there we go. We got the E, we got an S and an H. All right, so, what do we want to do with that? That's interesting. So we could do, I mean, my instinct is always to try to keep the S and H together. But if we do this, I don't know what's gonna come between the H and the E. Could do something like that, but I don't really like that too much either. So, maybe not. Maybe we start with, house. House is really good. If nothing else, that checks the other 2 vowels and new spots for the H and the S. Is it house? Oh, I thought I had it. Okay, so it could be horse. Horse seems like the obvious guess. Is it horse? Oh, there we go. Okay, very nice. So, interesting starting words from ChatGPT. Gleam, I'd be curious to know how it just, if you ask it for a word, does it just randomly pick a word? Is there some reason it picked gleam? I guess I could ask it. All right, why did you pick gleam for a starting word? Let's ask, see what it says. I suggested gleam because it is a simple yet evocative word that can inspire a lot of creative ideas. It can suggest images of shining or reflecting surfaces or be used metaphorically to represent something that catches the eye and captures attention. Additionally, the letters are diverse and can lend themselves to a variety of different words, making a good starting point for a word game like Wordle. I mean, there you go. Really interesting how it has reasoning behind its, or at least seems to have reasoning. I mean, it's weird how it can seem like it's thinking, which thinking is something you could argue about whether it's actually thinking or not, but very interesting. All right, well, I like that their explanation for why gleam was a good starting word, whether you agree with the reasoning or not. And then I really liked the idea that it followed up with a word fitting with the same theme. I thought that was really cool. So, although it does repeat the E, which normally may not be a great thing, but it worked out this time because we had the yellow E, so. Very cool. All right, so let me know if you've played around with ChatGPT. Let me know what you think of it, and which things what have you been surprised that it did really well, and oh wow, it was really smart or creative in this situation, and then other things where it was surprising how dumb it was. Like, okay, you're not suggesting 5-letter words for Wordle. It seems to understand Wordle because it's giving us, we're using diverse letters, it could lend themselves to variety. It seems to understand the concept, yet it was giving us words that were too long. But anyway, just let me know your experience with ChatGPT so far, and if you think gleam and shine are good starting words, and how you did with today's Wordle, and be sure to subscribe for more puzzles.